Best performing member of parliament in Kenya is Kikuyu MP Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah. The leading member of parliament currently in Kenya nationally is Embakasi East MP Honorable Babu Owino. Performance was evaluated across several indicators, including development projects such as educational support, healthcare, opening of new markets, such likes, accessibilities, that is the grassroots leadership that the Mwananchi has interacted with or experienced with a member of parliament. Other factors included leadership consistency and responsiveness to the pressing needs of Kenyans. Now, these rankings are not political endorsements, but rather a reflection of how Kenyans feel about the quality of leadership they are receiving. And the poll offered a platform for ordinary citizens to express their views, turning their lived experiences into data that highlights those making a real impact. Something that we noticed in these interviews, in this, a survey, that it is important to point out is that the political positioning of the MPs also influenced the ratings of the respondents. The leaders who have been voted for, most of them are leaders who have been seen to stand with the people, boldly speaking out on issues such as the rising cost of living, the need for economic reforms, defending the rights of the youth, and especially during this time where there have been protests. So their willingness to echo the public's voice and take a stand when it matters most has not gone unnoticed. The questions that respondents were asked across Kenya, the 47 counties of Kenya, remember we also took count of every constituency in country. So like all voices are represented in this survey. So the questions that respondents were asked is, how would you rate the performance of your current member of parliament since he or she took office? All right. So the leading member of parliament currently in Kenya nationally is Embakasi East MP Honorable Babu Owino, leading with a remarkable 88.9%. He is followed closely by Kiharu MP Honorable Ndini Nyoro, leading with 83.7%. At third place nationally, best performing MP is South Mugirango MP Honorable Silvanus Osoro, leading with 77.1%. At fourth place nationally, best performing MP is Githunguri MP Honorable Gadhoni Wamuchomba, leading with 76.2%. Fifth place nationally, best performing MP is Westlands Member of Parliament Honorable Tim Wanyoni, leading with 73.7%. And we have all the way up to the 20th. But it is important to note that the leaders who have been voted for here have demonstrated visible grassroots leadership. They have outspoken defense for the public's concerns. They drive development projects. They support marginalized groups and have a strong contribution to national debates on economic direction. So those are just some of the main factors and indicators that the respondents cited out. So at sixth place, best performing member of parliament in Kenya is Kikuyu MP Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, leading with 72.6%, followed by Igembe South MP Honorable Paul Mwirigi, leading with 70.8%. At eighth position follows Lang'ata MP Honorable Felix Jalango, leading with 68.1%. At ninth place is Dagoretti North MP Honorable Beatrice Elachi, leading with 67.2%, followed closely by Kasarani MP Honorable Ronald Karauri, leading with 65.7%. And at position 11 is Kimilili MP Honorable Didmas Baraza, leading with 65.1%. Ruaraka MP follows next, Honorable Tom Kajwang, leading with 64.5%, and Embakasi Central MP, Honorable Benjamin Gadiru, leading with 62.8%. At position 14, nationally best performing MP is Kapseret MP, Honorable Oscar Sudi, leading with 60.1%, and Dagoretti South MP, Honorable John Carrier, leading with 59%. At 16th place is Kitutu Chacha MP, Honorable Anthony Kibagendi, leading with 57.9%, followed by Molo MP, Honorable Francis Kuria Kimani, leading with 55.6%, and Mumias East MP at position 18, Honorable Peter Salasia, leading with 54.3%, followed by Makadara MP, Honorable George Alam Madwa, leading with 53.2%, and the 20th position goes to Embakasi West MP, Honorable Mark Mwenje, leading with 51.5%. So first of all, we just want to say congratulations to the MPs for their exemplary leadership. These results prove that Kenyans, they're watching, they're listening, and they're taking stock of the leaders that they have elected. Currently, citizens are not only concerned with development projects, but most importantly, also how boldly they represent the struggles and the aspirations of the Mwananchi at the national
Thank you,
level.
first of all. I don't think the party actually really influences the political. Of course, there is a percentage of which maybe from the electorates, people who are voting, it can influence in one way or another. But from our perspective, actually, we focused on how these members of parliament are serving the people, how this and the reaction and what are the fundamental things that are happening in the country right now. So people are watching, as Sioka has just talked about it. People are watching, and most of the people or the voters, or let's say Kenyans, want results from what they are seeing from the people who they have elected. So I think mostly from the general view, it did not come out like, it is about the parties, but actually how the leaders are delivering to the people.
Because I want to understand it because maybe the results you are looking at the performance of the MP.
Yeah.
So, for example, an MP from Turkana, how did you get his results? Which people voted for him? Because if an MP comes from Turkana, I believe if you are talking about results, only the people of Turkana can tell you about that one. Yeah. So, how did you come out and you can find areas, areas that people cannot even participate in these things? Because according to her, you are using phone call. Mm-hmm. How do you get the results and make sure these people, the MP from Turkana, you can see what he's doing?
Okay, thank you so much. As a research agency, it is very easy for us to come up or maybe to distinguish demographics depending with different constituency. As you can see, these results are coming from different constituencies, specific constituencies. So we are able to reach out to specific group of people so that they can give a personalized view from their home constituencies. So that's why we focus, like when you talk about maybe in Bungoma County, you talk about maybe in Nairobi County, you talk about different constituencies, for example. We directly focus on those constituencies to get the views from individual voters from those constituencies.
For example, in Nairobi, you have talked about Central MP who was number, I think number 12 or 13, roughly like somewhere there, either 12 or 13. So, they're doing one, yeah?
Yeah, number 13.
13, yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. So, the last time I heard him maybe speaking in parliament is when he was sworn in as the MP. So, when you are doing research, maybe are you only going on for development or you are also focusing on how he's representing his people in parliament?
So when you look at the bigger picture, there are so many contributions in leadership that actually uh, uh, direct someone to say this is a good leader. There is an aspect of someone contribution to maybe the parliament. That's one aspect of it. There is a development part of it. And there is also public engagement to the better view or the better interest of the Kenyans. So we do not focus only on how a person is speaking or maybe contributing to the parliament, but also we focus on other things like the projects they're doing in their individual constituencies, their concerns to the general concerns that is from the from his or her voters or the Kenyans in general. So there are so many aspects that we consider apart from someone maybe contributing or maybe talking in parliament. Remember, also the voters or maybe the electorates actually want results. They want to feel the leadership. They want to feel the development. So some of these views, mostly, you can see most people are concerned more from the delivery or from the delivery more than you talking or maybe you being popular to the general public. So most of these results were not just focused on an individual thing, but a number of things that contributes to the general view from the electors.
How accurate is your company? Because if you remember, before we went just last election, we saw this company coming out with different results. I remember even a company said they asked 2,000 people the results of how Raila Odinga is going to be the president, and we could see everyone coming with his own results. So how accurate is Lara agency?
So we talked about, Shekau presented during the presentation, we talked about the margin error, of which we talked about a 97% level of confidence. So, you know, when you are doing research, it gives a view. Basically, you're giving a feedback from what people have talked about, for what people have contributed and say, this is what we think, or this is what we have a general view of something. Remember, you cannot do research for all 55,000 Kenyans. So from this number that we have already shared with you, or when Syukau was presenting, it actually gives a general view of what people feel, of what people think of their leaders. So our accuracy is actually 95%.
To finish, maybe what are some of the challenges you got when you are doing this research?
Of course, when you are doing research, of course, there's challenges that you might experience on the way. Sometimes you get someone who maybe is not serious. Sometimes, or sometimes you get someone maybe who is linked maybe to a certain political wing. So they might give a radical view, perspective on something, but that maybe sometimes does not represent the general view of what things are supposed to be.
Those people who interviewed,
Yeah.
do they understand the work of their MP?
Of course, with the devolution that we're having in the country right now, uh, the challenge that we used to have mostly was during the introductory part of the devolution, simply because people did not understand how devolution works. People did not understand the roles maybe of the governor, of the member of the county assembly, women representative, the senator, or maybe the member of parliament. But as Lara, we made it easier for people to understand roles of members of parliament. That's why we focus on the members of parliament this time. Of course, we have done other positions before, but now, before you do a research, it is also your responsibility sometimes to make the electorate or the citizen to understand actually what is the role of this member of parliament. So the good thing that we are very proud about, something commendable for most Kenyans right now, we can say most Kenyans right now understand the roles of different positions or people that have voted into those positions. So it makes our work easier as Lara Africa. That's why even this research was also easy for us to do.